This conference will now be recorded.
In the previous session, we have discussed about Lightning Data Services. There we have discussed by using Lightning Data Service, we can interact with the Salesforce objects without using any Apex classes, and we can fetch the data from the object. We can view the records, we can update the records, we can create the records. We have performed without using any SOQL queries, without using any DML statements, without using any Apex controller, just by using the ready-made components given by Salesforce, we are able to implement all these functionalities. So without interacting with the server calls, without using any Apex classes, directly we can insert the records inside our object. So whenever we're performing the DML operations on your object records through Lightning Data Services, we have discussed two ways. We have two ways are available whenever if you're interacting with the objects through Lightning Web Components. There we have discussed two ways. The first one is form based. Second one, we have programming based. So if you want to interact with that Salesforce objects, that means to create the records, to update the records, to view the records through the ready-made Lightning components we have discussed. For that one, we have used Lightning record form, record view form, record edit form. We have discussed practically in the previous session. And then we have one more way, that is programming. Through programming also we can do. So with the help of this programming, what we can do through by using JavaScript methods itself. Through by using JavaScript methods itself, we can interact with your Salesforce objects without using any Apex classes. So without using any Apex classes, just by using some JavaScript methods which are available inside that user interface API that already we know. So now user interface API methods we can use, and then with the help of that, we can interact with your Salesforce objects. We can get the record data, we can insert, we can update, we can delete, we can perform these operations. So we can perform this DML operations on the object records through programming also. So yesterday we have given that overview. So how can we do that? So whenever if you want to interact with your Salesforce objects to perform all the DML operations, we can use the help of user interface API. That is also called as a UI record API. This is the name of this API. The UI means user interface. So now in this case, as part of this user interface API, we are having so many ready-made methods are available, like get record method, create record method, update record method, delete record method. These are some ready-made methods are available. With the help of these ready-made methods, we can able to get the records, we can able to create some records, we can update the records, we can delete the records, we can do all these operations also. That facility will be available to you. Now, let's see how can we do this. That yesterday I have given some syntax also. Whenever if you want to use these methods, then we have to import this method name, okay, from your UI record API. So now we have to specify the method name. Which method you would like to import, which method you would like to call, we can specify the methods also. Not only one, multiple method names also we can specify in one import statement. That facility will be available to you. So no need to specify a separate method. We can able to specify within a single statement itself here. That facility will be available. So now we can specify import, create record, get record, update record, delete record from the Lightning user interface API. So we can specify multiple methods also by separating a comma. So now what methods you would like to use, you can specify that multiple method names we can specify within a single import statement as well. Then how can we use these methods? Okay, in order to insert, update, delete the records, we'll see one by one. Now, first of all, let's see the create record method. So we have to understand what exactly the create record method and what is the use. Okay, now let's see practically. Basically, create record method is used to create a new record inside your Salesforce objects. In order to create some new records inside your Salesforce objects through the user interface API, through programmatically, we are using the help of this create record method. By using this create record method, we can insert some new record into an object over here. Then, whenever we are going to be inserting the records inside this object, then we have to pass some parameters, right? Because maybe that record will be having some values. That record may be having some mandatory fields are available, so that we have to specify those values as well. That facility will be available to you. Now, so in this case, how can we insert the records inside your object by passing these values? Now let's see. So in this case, I would like to specify. I'm using this create record method. Create record method is used to create a new record inside your object. So we can call that method from your JavaScript file. So if the record has been inserted successfully, then it is going to be returning the result to you. If the record has been failed, then it will be giving this errors information. So we can able to track that error information also over here. So now how can we do that? We can now, let's see practically here. Now, so whenever if you want to insert the record, then I would like to pass some value so that I would like to design a user interface. So let's see how can we design a user interface. Now let's see practically in this case. Now, creating new records. That means create record method. Now, by using this create record method, we can insert a new record into your Salesforce object. Now, let's see how can we do that. Let me give them a point. By using this method, we can insert new records into the object without using Apex controller classes. Without using any Apex class, directly we can able to insert the record inside your object. That facility is available. So there is no chance of crossing the kernel limits. Now, let's see how can we do that here. We need to pass the input values to the required fields while inserting the record. While inserting the record, we can able to pass that values also for the required fields. Now, whenever if you want to use this create record method, first of all, we have to import this method from user interface API. Now, while inserting the records, we have to import while inserting the record, we have to import the create record method from user interface API, UI record API. As below. Then how can we do that? Now let's see. The syntax is we have to specify import create record from Lightning UI record API. So now here I'm going to be calling this method. I'm using this ready-made method given by this UI record API, that is create record method inside my application as part of my business needs. Now let's see how can we do that. So now let me take a small use case and then let me show you how can we do this. So what I want to do is I want to design a small user interface by placing some input fields where I can enter some account name, and then we can enter some phone number, also fax number, and then we can specify some website field values, and then based on that we can create some records inside our object as well. Now let's see how can we do this one. First of all, let me take that use case. Create a Lightning Web Component to insert a new record inside the object by using UI Record API and show the confirmation message through toast notification. Once a record has been inserted successfully, so I would like to represent that toast message over here. So which will be indicating record has been inserted successfully. Now, let's see the practical. So now let me create a new Lightning Web component. I'm going to this VS Code. Let me create a new component. Create record component. I would like to use a default directory. So now my component has been prepared over here. Create record component. I'm having this HTML file. I'm having JavaScript file also both. Now HTML and the JavaScript file both are available. So now let's see here. First of all, let me design the user interface in order to create a record, in order to represent the text boxes, so that I can able to place some text boxes through which the user can supply some values for the record. Now let's see. I'm designing a lightning card. Through this lightning card, I would like to insert a record. Lightning card. I'm giving the title because create account. Icon name. I'm using standard account. Now, here I would like to use this lightning layout. Inside this lightning layout, I'm going to be using this lightning layout item. Here I'm indicating size equals to some 6. Padding equals to around small. Now, so here I'm going to be using this lightning card again. Now I would like to specify. or else directly within this one, we can able to place those fields also, depends upon the requirement. No issues. I'm using a lightning card. Title equals to new account. Icon name equals to standard account. Here I'm placing some lightning input fields. With the help of these input fields, I can able to place some text boxes so that I can able to enter the data for the name, value, name field, for the industry field, for the phone, and for the fax and the website and the billing city, like that. For those fields, I would like to place the values. So now I'm placing this lightning input. Lightning input. I would like to specify the label, enter account name, and then we can specify the placeholder also, whatever you want, we can specify. I'm indicating the reference name equals to name field over here. Lightning input, label equals to, I would like to specify that phone number here, enter contact number, name equals to phone. Lightning input, label equals to enter fax number, name equals to fax. So now here I'm indicating this. Next, lightning input, label equals to enter website name equals to website. Now I would like to specify lightning input, label equals to enter billing city, name equals to billing city. Now I'm indicating this billing state, billing country, billing zip code. I'm indicating billing city, billing state, sorry, this is billing country. Billing zip code. I have placed few lightning input components here. Now, and then I'm placing a button control. I'm placing two break tags or else one break tag, and then I would like to place a button control. Lightning button, because once the data has been entered, then I would like to insert the record so that I'm indicating this. Now, so that here I'm indicating this button control. So for this button control, I'm indicating label equals to save record, and then we can specify the action here. On click equals to specify the method name. Okay, now I'm save record. I'm giving this method name as on save record handle. So now we need to prepare that business logic for this. Now on save record handle. So over here we need to write that business logic, the JavaScript code. Up to this is okay here. Just place some user interface part, and then we have placed one button control save record. After entering the data in these text boxes, when I click on the save record button, it should insert a record inside my object. Now let's see. So now whatever the values we have entered inside these text boxes, we need to collect these values into our controller. That means into the client side controller, into your JavaScript. So that here I am going to be using this property over here. Now on change equals to, so now on name value here. So now I would like to specify on account name change. This is the name field here. I'm preparing the method. So these values I would like to collect into my variables, so that I'm preparing some variables also here. So now I would like to prepare some variables also. In these variables, I would like to store these values like @track acc name, @track acc phone, @track acc fax, track acc website, @track billing city, track billing state, billing country, billing postal code. So now here I'm using the track decorator, so that I would like to specify the track decorator I'm importing over here. So now whatever the values that we have entered in my text boxes, these values should be stored inside my variables. So now this text box value should be stored inside my variable. Name value should store in this ACC name variable. Phone value should store in this variable. Fax value, website, each and every text box value I'm collecting, I need to store inside them. So now for that one here, I'm going to be using these methods. Now, whenever this particular field value has been changed, that means whenever the value has been entered, now I would like to collect this value here. Now I would like to collect this value. So now, whatever the value we have entered, that value I would like to store. This is the name value. So now I would like to specify this dot acc name equals to event dot target dot value. So now in this current field, that means in the current field, whenever if we make any changes, I would like to collect that latest value. That value I would like to store inside my name field here. This is the name field related event. Now the second one here. On change, on phone account phone change. Now I would like to prepare this method here. Whenever the value has been entered in the text box, I would like to collect this value. Event. Now this dot acc phone equals to event dot target dot value. Like the similar way, each and every field value I'm collecting over here. On change equals to on account of fax change. So now I'm invoking this method. I would like to collect this value. Event dot target dot value. Next, I'm preparing this. On change equals to on account website change or on website change. Let me prepare this. The methods first. On change equals to on billing city change. I'm indicating the same here also. On billing state change. On billing country change. On billing zip code change. Now these are the methods. So let me prepare these methods over here. So now we have prepared for till facts. Next one. So now here I'm going to be copying this. See, for the website, for the billing city, billing state, billing country, billing postal code. So let me change these values over here, the method names. A website change. I would like to store this value, acc.website. Now, on billing city change. So now on billing city change. Now I would like to specify ACC we haven't specified these fields. Okay, website ACC. Okay, billing city state. This start billing city. Billing state change. I'm indicating billing state change. Billing country change. Billing zip code change. Postal code. Now, these are the various of fields are available. I have defined some properties. Inside these properties, I'm collecting these values. So whatever the values the user is going to enter, okay, inside these text boxes, these values I'm collecting into my variables. So for that one here, I have used this method onChange. Whenever a value has been entered inside this text box, then please populate this value inside my variables. Now by using this methods, I'm collecting these values inside my variable. So the name will be available in this variable, and then the phone number will be in this variable, fax number, website, in the billing city, state, and the country, and the postal code. All these values I'm placing inside this over here. Now, so now once the values are available over here, then what needs to be done? We have to insert the record over here. Okay, we have to insert the record. So now these values we need to pass to my respective fields. These are the variables here, JavaScript properties in which the values are available. So now which variable value, which property value you have to store in which field of your object. In account object, we have so many fields are available. So in which field, which property value you would like to pass. We have to indicate that. Now, for that one here, as part of this button click, upon click on this button control, I would like to pass this values so that I'm indicating this. Now, I would like to indicate constant. I'm indicating this fields. I would like to specify that. We have to specify the field name. Okay, field name field. Pass that value over here. Where is that value? This dot acc name, comma. I'm indicating. Now we are having this phone field inside my object. Where is this value? ACC, this dot ACC phone. And then we have fax field inside my object. So now this dot ACC fax. And then we have a field called as website. I'm indicating this dot ACC website. Billing city. This dot billing city. Billing state. This dot billing state. Billing country. Billing country. Billing postal code. This dot billing zip code. Now I have passed these values over here. So now that means we have to indicate the field name and then where exactly the value. The values are available inside my variables over here. These are the JavaScript properties. That means property means variable, simple. So now these are the various JavaScript variables are available. In this one, we have this value. So I want to pass this value to my name field of my account record. And then phone value, this field variable value I'm passed to the phone field. This value to fax field, this value to website field. This is for billing city, billing state, billing country, and the billing postal code. So that I'm passing these values. Now, so in this case, these are the various of fields are there for which I'm passing the value, because in my object, you might be having some hundreds of fields may be there. So it's not mandatory to pass a value for all the fields always. We can pass the values depends upon your requirement over here. And then we have to specify that, okay, in which object you are going to insert this record. So now we have to specify constant record input equals to, I'm going to be indicating this. So now we can specify that API name. API name. In which object you want to insert? I want to insert into account object over here. And then what fields are available? These are the fields information which we have populated. So all these fields information we have specified here. So please use this fields information in certain account record inside my object. So now here I'm ready with that record input over here. I want to insert the record into this account object here. And then I would like to, okay, insert the records into this object with this field values. Then how to create the record over here? So in order to create that record, we have to use this create record method from user interface API. So you have to import that method, import create record, okay, from Lightning UI record API. Automatically it is populating over there. So now we have to call that method here. Now just we have to specify. Now, so now here I'm indicating create record. Here we have to pass a record input here. Whatever the record input that I have prepared, I'm indicating this record input over here. Now dot, then once the record is inserted, then it will be providing the result over here. Okay, now result we can specify. Okay, we can specify the result. So now here in this case, I'm indicating. So whatever the result operation, once operation has been done, then I would like to indicate that. So once operation has been success, it will be indicating the result over here. Now I would like to show that confirmation message by using a toast message over here. So in order to represent that result, okay, I would like to use a toast message. Suppose if there is any failures are available over here. Okay, suppose if there is any failures are available, we can able to catch that error. Catch, if there is any errors are available, we can specify that. And we can specify your own error message again here. We can show that error messages also over here. Depends upon your requirement. So now once a record has been inserted successfully, this is a method which will take this, okay, object name also, which object record you would like to insert, and then in which fields you would like to insert the values here, everything it will be collecting over here. Now it is inserting the record. Once a record is inserted, if the record insertion is successful, it will return that result over here. And then if the record insertion has been failed, it will be returning that error message. So that here we can able to use this catch method as well. Now here we can able to show the toast message. If the record is insertion is successful, then write the toast message. Now here I'm using import show toast note, show toast event. from we have to specify Lightning platform show toast event. So now here I'm going to be using this. So Lightning toast event as well, show toast event, which is used to show the toast message to the people. So now I would like to show the toast message over here. I'm indicating this message as well. Constant we can specify, or else directly we can specify that also inside this. This dot dispatch event, here we can able to specify that information as well. Now here we can able to pass the parameters here. New show toast event, now here you can pass that values. Title success, message record inserted successfully, variant success, mode dismissible, mode dismissible. So now here we are indicating this message here. Once a record is inserted, then I'm going to be indicating this. If you want to write this message inside your console log also, we can able to write that message, no issues. Depends upon your requirement. Now we can, if you want to track that record ID here, console.log account record ID is, we can specify result.id. We can able to collect that. Suppose if there is any errors are available over here, so that we can able to show that errors information also. Now console.log error while inserting account. If you want to show that message, then just you can specify error dot body dot message. Now along with that, we can able to show some toast message also here. Record insertion has been failed, like that here we can show. Now it is error occurred upon record insert. Error, that's it. So now that's it, done. So now here we are not using any Apex methods. Directly we are going to be using this JavaScript method, that is create record. With the help of this create record method, we are inserting the record inside your object. So we have to pass that record details over here, which record you would like to insert, in which object you would like to insert the record. We have to specify this object API name along with the fields information also, in what object you would like to insert the records. So now once the record has been inserted successfully, it will be giving this results to you. From that result, we can able to collect that information. And then we can able to show some confirmation message to the people the record has been inserted successfully. Okay, if there is any failures are available, then we can able to catch those errors information, and that errors data we can able to represent in the form of a toast message. So depends upon your application requirement, we can able to specify this. Now let me save this code. Now let me save this HTML. Let me go to that metadata XML file. I want to make it exposed. Exposed equals to true, and then I'm adding a few targets. Target, I'm indicating lighting app page. Target lighting home page. Target lighting record page also. So now this particular lighting component can be used in application page also, in home page of your app also, and we can use inside the record also. In the record detail page also, we can represent this. Now, let's see. Let me go to my Salesforce arc, open default arc. Now, so let me create a page also, so that to create a new record, I'm going to the Lightning App Builder. Lightning App Builder. Create a new record page here. It is an app page I would like to prepare. New account record page. I want to use that, okay, with a margin and the right side sidebar. So now this is the page has been designed. Now in this page, I would like to place my component. What is that component that we have prepared? Now we have create record component. This is the component here. Just you can add this component. So now my component has been placed over here. Now let's save this. Now make it activate. I want to show this one for all the people as well, and for the lighting experience, I would like to make it visible. Add page to app. I want to add this page to my application also. Mobile navigation also. For this mobile navigation also, I would like to add. Now let's see. So directly we can go to the sales app, and there you will be able to see this screen. Now click on save. Let's go to the sales application. Now here we can able to see your page over here. New account record page. This is a page which I have designed. Once you click on this page, we can able to see the fields. Whatever the fields we have entered with this field, the fields will be getting visible. This is the component which we have designed over here. We need to specify the account name and the contact number, fax number, website, billing city, billing state, billing country, billing postal code. Now here I'm indicating this account name. I would like to indicate the account name as. So now I would like to specify that account record name with the name some Abhinav Sharma. Contact number, I'm giving some value. Fax number, I'm giving some value. A website, I'm indicating as some gmail.com, and the billing city, I'm indicating Pune. Billing state, I'm indicating Maharashtra. Billing country, some India, and then postal code, I'm indicating some 700032. I'm giving some value. So now this is the values which I have entered, which I am placing over here. Once the values have been entered, upon click on this save record button, I want to insert a record inside my object. Click on save record. Now it is indicating record inserted successfully. So my record has been. So my record has been inserted successfully. So now when you go to this accounts tab, let's see the record has been inserted or not. See, the record has been created successfully with the details whatever we have entered. So account record name is available, and then phone number, and then name is Abhinav Sharma, fax number, website, and the billing address information. Whatever the data that we have entered with these details, record has been created successfully. So without using any Apex class methods, without using any controller classes, just by using this JavaScript methods, it's a ready-made method itself, we are able to insert the record. Displaying the post images or not, it's your choice here. If you want to show, then we can display. If you don't want, we can leave it here. Now, whatever the record has been inserted, we can see that record ID also. When you go to the inspect, go to the console prompt. Here we can able to see the record ID. This is the record ID has been generated by Salesforce. This is the record ID generated by Salesforce. We can able to track that. If there is any issues are available, we can able to check it out. Now, this is the way we are going to be using this create record method in order to insert the record inside your object. So we have to use a method directly here, create record, by importing from UI record API without using any controller classes, without using any Apex class methods. We can import this UI record API method, and then just you can pass, okay, for which object you would like to insert the record, and then what field values you would like to supply. We have to pass those informations, and then we can insert the record as well directly. Now, so now this is the functionality of, okay, create record API. Now the second one, how to get the record from the object here. Okay, we'll see. Let me place this. Metadata file. Now, this is the way we are going to be using the help of creating the records inside your object by using JavaScript methods. The next method is get the record from the Salesforce objects. Not only inserting the records, we can get the record values also from your Salesforce object. Then how can we fetch that record values? Okay, we'll see practically in today's session. And how can we fetch the required fields information from the object also? We'll see practically over here. Now, so now what I want to do is I would like to use that get record method. By using this get record method, I would like to fetch that fields information. Generally, if you want to fetch a record value, then what we need to do, we have to make an SQL query. So in that SQL query, we have to specify, okay, we have to specify the fields information, what fields data you would like to fetch. So now we have to specify those fields information. Now, so here also we need to specify what fields data you would like to fetch. We have to specify that fields information over here. Upon specifying that fields information, okay, upon specifying that fields information, so now we'll see how to specify the fields. And then two ways are available. I will show you what are those two ways are available, and then how to use that get record method by passing the record ID. We have to pass the record ID and then which record data you would like to fetch, and then specify the fields information. What fields data you would like to fetch. Then based on that fields, based on the record ID, it will be going to the database. It will be matching the condition. To prepare a where class where ID equals to this particular record. Whatever the record ID that I'm going to supply, based on that record ID, it is going to be collecting the data from that object over here. And then that data I want to represent on my Lightning Web component. Then how can we do that? Okay, now let's see practically in this case. So now in this case, whenever if we are going to be using this get record method, so now we no need to use any SQL queries over there. Okay, we no need to use any SQL queries. So now whenever if you want to get the data from the object, then we have to use that get record method here. Now let me explain. Now get Salesforce records, recorded data. Now we can fetch the records from the Salesforce object by using get record method from UI RecordApi. We have to specify the fields, to be get collected from the object. Now, so whenever we are going to be using this, okay, whenever we are going to be using this get record method, we have to follow a specific syntax. So what is the syntax that we used to follow? Okay, now let me explain that syntax over here first. First of all, we have to know that steps, then only we can able to use how can we implement this. Now, let's see practically what exactly the syntax is in the steps we used to follow. Now, as a step one, first of all, we have to import. As a step one, import the get record method. Get record method from UI RecordApi. Then how can we do that? Now let me explain. Syntax. Import get record from, we have to specify that Lightning UI RecordApi. This is the step one. As a step one, we have to import that method get record. Next, as a step two, so now we have to execute that method. We have to call that method, and then the method is going to be collecting the data from the object. It will be placing inside your JavaScript property. So we have to specify so that we are going to be using this where adapter. We are using where adapter. Okay, that means where decorator. So now we can specify that. Invoke the method by using where decorator and store the result inside the JavaScript property or function, depends upon your requirement. Now, let's see the syntax. We have to use @y, okay, @y, and we have to specify that get record. Now get record. So now this is the first parameter. That means please execute this method over here. Now, whenever we are going to fetching this record over here, we have to pass some parameters. What parameters we need to pass? Record ID. Record ID we have to pass. So that means what record data you would like to collect from that object here. We have to specify the record ID over here. So now we can specify the record ID inside this, which is a string. Which is a string. Next one. So now we have to specify the fields. What fields data you would like to specify? So now we can specify a single string over here. That means a single field name, or we can specify the multiple fields also by using the string array. Okay, we have to specify the string array here in order to specify that. Now, so now here in this case, yeah, we can specify that fields information. Now, and along with that, we can specify that. Suppose if you don't want to specify any fields, if you want to collect all the fields which are available inside your layout, we can specify the layout also. Or else directly we can specify the record ID, and then along with that we can specify the fields information directly. These two are sufficient over here. Okay, depends upon your requirement. Now, so in this case here, how can we do that? Okay, now let's see practically in this case. This is the syntax we used to follow. So in this case, what happened? I'm using this wire decorator over here. So now the wire decorator is going to be executing this method. Now by passing this record ID and by passing the fields, and then here we can specify the property or JavaScript property or function name. JavaScript property or function name over here. I'm indicating a JavaScript property name. Here you will be getting these two parameters, same data and errors. Data and errors. So now here from here the remaining story will be same. So now whatever the data we have collected here by using this get method, get record method, the data will be storing inside my JavaScript property or function. And from there, if it is the data, we can able to represent. If it is error, we can show some error message also. Depends upon your requirement. So now we can specify the fields. So now let's see here. How can we specify the fields information? How to fetch the data? We can now let me show you practically in this case. Now, so now let's see how can we collect the record IDs here. Now let me show you practically. Take a small use case. Design a Lightning Web Component to get the record details and represent the record data on the component. I want to represent the data on the component over here. Now, let's see practically how can we do that. So now let me close these files. I'm creating a new component. Create a Lightning Web Component. I'm indicating it record component. So now my component has been prepared. Now I would like to write the code first. Now here I'm going to be using this respective methods. Import the get record, import get record. Now it is automatically populating this API name also. So now here I would like to collect that. So what fields you would like to fetch, we can specify the fields information over here. Now we can specify. I would like to fetch that account record name field, rating, industry, annual revenue, phone, and the fax. I would like to fetch these fields information over here. Now, in order to specify that fields information, we have to define an array. In that array, we have to specify that field names. So now here we can specify that. How to specify, let me show you. Now two ways are available. I will show you both the ways within a single example itself. Upon specifying the fields, what fields data I would like to fetch? We can specify constant. I would like to specify the fields information equals to, I'm indicating this. We can specify the fields information like as account dot name, comma, account dot rating, account dot industry, account dot phone, account dot fax, account dot annual revenue. This is one way, okay, to specify the fields information. Now, so now second one is we can able to import each and every field like this. Second way I will show you. Import. I would like to specify the account record name. That means name field from. I would like to specify Salesforce schema dot account dot name. Now, here we can specify this name field here. Now this is the account record name field which I would like to collect, so that I'm indicating from. It will go to the Salesforce organization. It will go to the schema, that means objects. From there it will go to the account object, the name field value it will collect. Second one. Rating field from Salesforce schema dot account dot rating. Third one, import industry field from schema account dot industry. Import phone field from Salesforce schema slash account dot phone. Import fax field from Salesforce schema account dot fax. Like that also we can specify. Here we can specify the fields information. Constant ACC fields equals to, here we need to specify name field, rating field, industry field, phone field, fax field. Like this also we can specify. So now this is one way. Okay, this is one way we can specify, and this is the second way. The second way is the best suitable. Why? Because suppose if you want to fit some 20 fields data, then we have to import each and every field separately. It will take some lengthy code. It will be looking because very big lengthy. So now to avoid such kind of problems, you can able to use this kind of second format also here. Anyone you can use, or else you can mix together also. I will show you mix together how can we do that. I would like to mix together. So now in this case, these are the two ways are available. Sometimes you can raise a question, sir, can I mix these two ways? Yes, we can do that. Now here what I want to do is, I would like to use this way also, and both the ways I would like to show. Now here I'm commenting this code. This is also I'm commenting over here. Now I would like to use this. Now, now let's see. So now we can able to mix these together as well. So now I would like to fetch some fields information by importing the field names from that schema also. And the second one here I'm going to be indicating like this. Depends upon your requirement. name field, rating, industry, phone, fax. I'm going to be importing from the schema, and the two more fields I have placed over here, like as normal. Directly we can specify object name dot field names over here. Now, so now here in this case we have specified this field names. So now once you are done with this one, now we need to import that. That means we need to collect the record ID. The current record ID is what here we need to collect the record ID. So I'm collecting the current record ID here by using the API decorator record ID, and I'm indicating this. To store the record information, I'm using @API now record name. That means account record here. Account record. That means I'm placing this whole data. That means once a record has been collected, then that record I would like to store inside my account record, like a variable. That means property. So now here I'm going to be using this API decorator also. Now I would like to execute this. Now, so then how can we use this? So now we are ready with the list of fields here. We are ready with the record ID also. Then how can we execute that method? Now let me show you practically in this case. Now invoke that method. Invoke the method. Then how can we invoke now? Let's see. @y. We can specify the method name over here. Okay, @y. We can able to specify that method name here. Which method you would like to execute, we have to specify that method name over here. So now what is the method you would like to execute? Get record method. So we can pass that method. Get record method. Whenever we are going to be executing this method, then this method will be expecting some record ID and then fields. That means which record data you want me to fetch and what fields data you want me to fetch. So now we have to specify here. That's what we have given this parameters here. Now we are indicating the parameters. Now, so we have to specify the record ID over here. Now here I'm passing with a dollar record ID. Next, we have to specify the fields. Where we have specified the fields information, this is the fields information. Okay. This is the fields information which we have specified over here. So whatever the fields are available, now I have specified the fields information. Now this method, that means the while decorator will be executing this method. So now the method will be collecting this record ID. Based on the record ID, it will go to the respective record. It will collect this field values over here, whatever we have specified. And this value will need to store inside, okay? I would like to store inside a record called as, okay, account record over here. So now we can able to store inside that here. Or you can able to call a method also, JavaScript method also. We can able to specify inside that here. Depends upon your requirement over here. So now whatever the methods that you want, you can specify. Now I'm going to be using this method over here. Now, so now I would like to specify the wide record. I would like to specify. So now it is going to be indicating this data and the error. Data or error. So now here in this case, so now I'm invoking this method over here. Now here I would like to fetch. So I'm using this while decorator so that we can specify along with that we have to specify while. So I'm going to be executing this method because that already told you why decorator is used to fetch the data from the object. So that we are using this while decorator, and then this method will be getting executed by passing this record ID, by passing this field. That means please get this particular record data, okay, and fetch these fields information and then store into this method over. It is passing to the function. Now here I'm going to be collecting the data here. Once the data is available, then I would like to track. If, okay, now I would like to specify if data, that means if the record is available. Okay, then I would like to store that record information inside my account record here. ACC this dot account record equals to data. Now, and from there, I would like to check if else if errors. Okay, error. I would like to represent that information by using this log file over here. Now, console.log error occurred. Okay, while fetching data, I want to show the error information. Now, so now the record data I'm collecting, I'm storing inside my account record. So now this data I want to show, okay, on my Lightning Web component. Then how can we show this data on the Lightning Web component here? So that what I want to do is, in this record, whatever the record values are available, I'm collecting each and every value I want to store inside a variable. Now, so that here I'm defining this variables over here to store the field values. So now here I'm indicating this. Now, ACC name, and then ACC rating, ACC industry, ACC phone, ACC fax, ACC type, ACC annual revenue. These are the variables I have defined here. So I want to store this value inside this variable. Then how can we do that? Okay, now let's see practically. This each and that means the whole record will be available inside my account record property here. From this one, I would like to fetch each field value I want to store inside my variable so that I can show on my Lightning component. So I would like to specify. Now, ACC name. So that means this dot ACC name equals to now account record. I would like to specify dot account record dot fields dot name dot value. So I would like to go to this current account record. From this record, I would like to go to the fields. From that fields, I would like to collect the name field value. That value I'm storing into my variable over here. So that go to the name field and then get the value and store into the ACC name variable. Now, this dot ACC rating. I would like to collect the data. Okay, this dot account record dot fields dot rating dot value. This dot ACC industry account record dot fields dot industry dot value. Account record dot fields dot annual revenue dot value. ACC phone. This dot account record dot fields dot phone dot value. ACC fax equals to this dot account record dot fields dot fax dot value. ACC type, that means account type. Now type that value. So I'm collecting each and every field value. So from this account record, whatever the fields are available, I'm collecting each and every field value separately. These values I'm storing inside my respective variables. Once a value is available inside my variable, these are the variables here in which I have stored. Once the values are available inside these variables, then represent these values on your Lightning component. So let me go to my HTML. In this HTML, I would like to show that recorded data over here. How can we show that? Now let's see. I'm using a lightning card. A lightning card. Title equals to get account data. Icon name equals to standard account. I'm representing this field's information. Now I would like to specify account name as I would like to show that ACC. Each and every field value I'm representing over here. Account rating as I would like to show ACC rating. I'm giving a break tag. Now industry name. Industry. Revenue value. ACC annual revenue. What is that property name? Annual revenue. And then contact number. ACC phone. And the fax number. Account type. I'm representing the account name value, rating value, industry, annual revenue, contact number, fax number, and the account type. All these values I'm representing. So whatever the values are available, I'm representing. So without using any SQL queries, without using any Apex classes, just by using this ready-made method, that is get record method, we can able to fetch the data from your object as well. We can fetch the records information. So we can pass the record ID. Based on the record ID, we can able to specify what fields data you would like to fetch, specify the fields information. It will be fetching the data, and then that data will be storing into your function or JavaScript property. From there, we can get the data here. That means result. If there is any errors are available, it will be storing in the errors. We can able to collect that information. Get the record, store that record data inside your variable. From there, fetch each and every field values whatever you want. Now, let me save this code. And I would like to go with that metadata file. I'm indicating is exposed equals to true, and then I'm adding some targets also. Target I want to indicate in the record page. So I want to go in the record page. So in this record page, I would like to represent the record information. The current record data I would like to fetch by using this component. Let's see. Now, let me go to my Salesforce org and let me place this. So now open this record information. I'm indicating this rating value here. Let me use some values for this. I'm indicating the fax value and the phone value and the website, and the type value I'm indicating customer direct. Industry name, some communications. Let me say. Now my data will be available. Now here I would like to add that. Okay. Now I would like to add a component. Or else I would like to show here itself directly. Edit page. I want to place my component in this place. Let me add a property also over here. Let me add a tab over here in this one. Add a tab. I want to change this custom label, get a record. I'm adding a tab. So now this get a record tab will be the default one. Now here I'm placing this component. Get a record component. I'm placing it over here. Now it will represent the records. Now let's say now. So now whatever the record that we have, that record data we are able to collect over here. Now it is able to represent inside my component. It is showing account record name, Abhinav Sharma, and then we are able to fetch the data over here. Okay, rating value, industry name, and then annual revenue. Annual revenue is showing empty over here because we don't have any annual revenue value. That's what it is showing empty. Now here I'm giving some value also over here. So now some 26 lakhs. $24 lakhs. Now here that value will be getting represented over here. And then we can see that fax number value and the account type, everything we have collected. So whatever the record data is available, we can collect that record data by using this. So this is how we can able to fetch the record values from your Salesforce object also by using this get record method. So without using any Apex classes, without using any SQL queries, we can able to use this get record method, which will do all these operations for you by default. This is a way in order to fetch the records from your objects here by using get record method. Okay, now let me place this code. HTML metadata file. Now, so this is the way we are going to be using this get record method here. Now, in tomorrow's session, I will show you, okay, one more method over here. So that is how to delete the records. I will show you tomorrow, okay, by using this ready-made method, that is a delete record method. And then I will show the testing process so that we can close it off tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, I will take up the session morning at 7 o'clock. Okay, morning at 7 o'clock while using this. So tomorrow morning we'll be having a 7 o'clock. We will be having the lightning session over here. Because tomorrow we don't have, tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock I'm having some free time, so that morning at 7 o'clock we'll be having the session again. So now, so that I will show you how can we delete the record and how to implement the testing process also. I will show you tomorrow by using just the two, so that we can close it off. So from next week onwards, so we will not be having any sessions over here. Thank you. Now, by using this get record method, we can able to fetch the records based on the record ID, not based on the name. Based on the record ID only we can able to fetch, because only one record data it will collect. If we want to get multiple records data, we have to go imperative methods. Through imperative methods or by using white decorator, we have to execute your own Apex controller classes, and then we have to fetch multiple records, we can represent them. Okay, in order to collect that current record data, then we are using this. and then get the data from your object. Okay, by using your own Apex controller methods, we can represent them on tabular format by using Lightning data table. Already we have discussed how to represent the data in the form of tabular format by using Lightning data table. Okay, already we have discussed over there. Use that functionality to represent multiple records, to fetch the current record information. If you want to create a new record, if you want to modify the existing record, if you want to delete a record, if you want to get the record, then we are going to be using these UI record API methods. Suppose if you want some multiple object records or multiple records also, then we have to go with your Apex class controller solution. But only for the single record operations, we are using this. Okay, now thank you all. Thanks for your time. Let's meet on tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock. I will be sharing a new link for the tomorrow's session because this link will be expiring by today. So for tomorrow morning, I will share one more link by today evening itself so that you can use that to join for tomorrow morning session. Thank you.